accidental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals. Told my girl it was simple.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's C. Will, and this is the Passive Income Network. On this podcast, we talk about creating assets that produce passive income. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment and say what's good. On this episode, we have a special podcast feature. We got the Vybe crew on. Shout out to Vybe Crypto. What's good, y'all?
Hey, that's awesome. Thanks, you all. Thanks for having us on, man.
Yes, most definitely.
See, Will, thanks for hosting. Excited to be here, buddy.
Oh, most definitely. Yes, I'm excited. You know, we spoke about a month ago or so, and it's good to get y'all on the show. And we talking about connecting social media and crypto. We talking Web 2 and Web 3 and where they meet. Can y'all, let's start with Choppy Waters, you, Doug. Can you break down who you are and what's Vybe Crypto? Then we'll go to Blake next.
Yeah, there's a lot there. So let me just start with Vybe. So it's tokenized likes, basically. You know, what if you got cryptocurrency for every like you got on social media? That's what our app does. It takes an Algorand wallet and it connects it to your social media sites and converts likes into a cryptocurrency that we have called Vybe, and then automatically deposits those in your Algorand wallet. So it basically takes those heart emojis and puts them in your wallet, makes them transferable, makes you be able to do micro transactions with them.
Heart emojis, I like that.
Yeah.
So you're CEO, founder. What about you, Blake?
Been working a lot of chief operations officer and a lot of business development, trying to get out in front of a lot of this project, help market it a little bit, we've done a great job networking. We went to Consensus in Austin, had a hell of a time out there, met some great contacts, a lot of the algo team, nice. Trying to look forward to some more networking opportunities, see what we can come up with next.
Excellent. Well, that's good. Yeah, I know there's a lot of algo fam in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot out there. I've been speaking with some. Okay, so let's talk about how does one get involved with Vybe? Like, what do we have to do? So we got social media, you guys got an application, there's a website.
Yeah.
Break it all down for us.
Yeah, well, we've been busy because we launched a month ago. You know, so kind of the quick genesis of this is that you know, like last year, Instagram, you know, they made $20 billion, right? And you know, how did they make that money? Well, their product is your content, you know, what you put on those sites, right? They made money off the content that creators, which is all of us, are putting on Instagram. You know, and then how much of that $20 billion did they give back to, you know, the creators on that site? You know, like basically nothing, right? And so, you know, we got to thinking, well, what happens if you tokenize that and are able to move that around and create additional revenue stream for creators? And I know your podcast and your platform, your classes and all the amazing stuff you do is all about generating passive income, right? Yes. And so this for us is another way to do that. Like, you might as well be getting paid for the content in another way, or at least being able to have some ownership of that content. And move it around. So that was kind of the initial thought about a year ago. And then we've been moving in that direction. And the last month has been really busy because we launched, and it's been really fun and exciting. And so, you know, over to your question about how you know, whether or not we have a website. Blake, why don't you just run with that? And
so, see, we'll repeat your initial question for me. I want to make sure I answered just right.
Yeah, it was basically, how do one connects their, you know, social media? How do we use the platform? And then how do we get rewarded?
Perfect. So you'll log on to www.vybecrypto.com. Okay. Check out the website, peruse after you create an account. But now you won't be able to sync your social media until you make sure you've got a Pera algo wallet. And I'm gonna give you some real basic steps here. You got to make sure you've got what, 0.001 algo in there in order to make your first transaction.
Yes.
And then you've got to acquire the Vybe asset, which is what's going to cost you that 0.001 algo. So you're going to want to go ahead and find the verified asset Vybe. Explain a little bit of this on our website. We've also got a couple of videos out there on Instagram, maybe even a few on Twitter to help you assist with this. So you're going to go ahead and make sure that you've got that Vybe asset, go back, and now you're going to sync any of your Reddit, YouTube, Twitter. We're working on a very special one that I'll let Doug release in a few, maybe later. Okay. Maybe later, maybe today. And you're gonna go ahead and sync those accounts on there, and then most important part, you got to mine daily. So the distribution goes out every single day at noon Eastern Standard Time. So you're going to want to go ahead and log in with one time within the past 24 hours. If you can do it right before the mining, you can scrape all of that data, and make sure that you're mining for the most likes possible. And then we're going to go ahead and the maximum amount you can mine per day is 1% of the total distribution, which is 890,411 per day.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Kind of a whirlwind description there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So basically you go to Vybe Crypto, and it's VYBE, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Vybe Crypto, go to vibecrypto.com, connect your social media, have your Pera Wallet loaded up with an algo, opt into the Vybe Crypto asset, verified, right? And then we claim once a day.
Yeah, exactly. You just mine once a day. What that does is it connects your, our app to your social media site and allows you to excavate those likes. And then the algorithm that we have automatically converts those into Vybe and then automatically deposits those into your wallet, which you control. And it does that, once a day, and it'll run for the next 20 years doing that, distributing Vybe.
Wild. Okay. So let's talk about other ways we can get Vybe too. I know we have pools, and what are some other utilities y'all thinking or do have?
Yeah, I mean, you can buy it on a couple of decentralized exchanges right now, right? And then mining it are the two principal ways, right? We did the Algo Fund also, a staking pool. But our big push, this is really just our mining mechanism at this point. Like, this is our plan to distribute Vybe to the world and create a community, right? Like, we don't make any money off this. We're giving the Vybe away, and you can turn right around and sell it, on one of these dexes. And that liquidity that we have on the dexes, we've provided as well, right? To create a market and create a community and build that up over time, because over time, what we're doing is creating a community of creators. And that's valuable, right? Because we have what really excites us, this is basically just the baseline platform in order to create the community and distribute the token. But what really excites us is some of the use cases that we want to build on top of that. Like you just mentioned, use case. And some of these are micro payments that we can do through advertising within our community to generate other ways of revenue for our creators, right? You don't just have to mine. I mean, if you want to mine, great, it's kind of fun. We'll make it more gamified and have a leaderboard and stuff. And like, that's cool. Like, that's entertaining. But really what we're trying to do is create another way also for advertisers to connect with creators and utilize the power of microtransactions in order to generate other revenue and profits for these creators. These are things you can do with cryptocurrency and a blockchain. And you can't do it with credit cards and banks. None of this would work with credit card and banks because, I can't send you 2 cents,
Yeah, break down microtransaction real quick for the audience that don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a small amount of money that you're able to move, right? With credit cards, there's a huge expense to doing that. And it's got to go through a bank, and there's all these transaction fees. With cryptocurrency, I can send 4 cents or $4 million to Blake in Nigeria, right? And that'll take, on the Algorand blockchain, that'll take about 4 seconds, and it'll cost less than a penny, far less than a penny, right? And so that is a technology that hasn't really been available for very long. And we have some interesting ways, we think, where we can, take advantage of that with tokens and make that profitable for our users, which is exciting. Like, that's what we want to get to. So it's great that we've launched and we've created the platform and we're starting to distribute. Yep. But that is really just a first step to building some of these use cases that we have.
Okay.
Sewell, I don't want to take over your show, but I got a question for you.
Take it over.
You interview Sewell.
so Doug mentioned that he was going to send me 4 cents or $4 million in Nigeria, right?
Yep.
What do you know about Algo in Nigeria?
Oh,
yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's big. Big deal.
Well, tell us.
Intellectual property. So huge. So yeah, they connected. They're gonna, from my understanding, they'll be using NF domains as well, which will put them even deeper into the blockchain. But it's about intellectual property rights, payments, and remittances, basically.
Yeah.
And
so
as
the reason
you said, that 4-second transaction finality anywhere globally is huge.
Right. Yeah,
really matters.
That's exciting. We've gotten a lot of real positive feedback from the Nigerian community and the Nigerian Algorand community. And, we've onboarded a lot of users in the last month. In fact, we're upgrading our servers this week because don't have enough capacity. We need to create some more capacity. It's kind of, it's been a bit of and a lot of that's coming from Nigeria. So we're excited about that. We want to Blake's asking because we want to connect and expand more with that community.
I think that's honestly what I'm doing as well. You know, more stats about Nigeria, 200 million people. They're on track to surpass the US in growth in terms of their youth and just population, tech-heavy country, and they're definitely coming up. It's a great market to connect with.
See, well, the reason I asked was Doug and I accidentally found this out as we were releasing Vybe to the world, and Nigerian community is our #1 user on the platform right now, which was super exciting for us to find out. It was just kind of pure happenstance how it occurred.
Yeah, very organic. They're very excited about Algorand too, so it's been great.
Yes. Yeah, and I do know, like, you know, just speaking of that, the global, like, again, like Algorand is the one that I use for education for various different reasons, because we said micropayments, gas fees are essentially 1/10 of 1 penny. The community is something I always talk about. The AlgoFam community is global and it's growing, you know, from small to large, pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we talk about any more updates or some, you know, attention grabbing things like that?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. We can make a news announcement. We can make a breaking news announcement on your show, because we just found out today, which is exciting. Okay. So let me rewind a step. Yep. Last week, well, let me rewind 2 steps. So in order to excavate the likes from the social media sites, obviously we need to connect to those sites and obtain, you know, the count of how many likes you have, right?
Some data.
So so we do that through APIs on the sites. You have to work with those different sites and they have to give you access to those APIs, right? And it's not easy to get. The developers, it's a process, it's an application. You know, you have to prove, you know, you have to validate and vet your company, all this stuff, right? And so we got TikTok last week approved us, which was fantastic. Now users can connect to TikTok and mine TikTok, right? Which is really cool.
That's a big
basically, yeah. And so today we found out, after months of applying and doing the work that we're announcing on your show, is that Facebook has approved us. So Facebook, it's big news. Yeah. So Facebook is giving us access to their API. And
let me just hop in there real quick.
Yeah.
Break down the API again a little bit more, because I know, just break it down for the audience.
Yeah. So your likes are public, right? Like I can look on your Twitter and I can see how many likes you have. Okay, but it's very difficult to like, you know, count those up basically. In any sort of efficient process at scale, it just can't be done, right? And so to do it at scale with multiple users in multiple different countries at the same time, when the algorithm runs at 12 o'clock Eastern time every day, we need to pull that from somewhere. So we need to pull it from the site itself. So in order to do that, you need the site to give you access to those likes so that you can make the like count. And that's what Facebook has done. You know, a lot of these sites won't do that. And Facebook is particularly difficult, right? They're not just going to open up, you know, that little portal into their site for anybody or any app. So it's it's a developer's portal thing. Usually you have to coordinate and get permission. It takes a long time. You submit an application. They look at your site. They make suggestions. We've been doing that for months. And finally, today, Facebook approved that, which is really cool. Now, we're not going to actually probably launch it until next week. Because we want to make sure that we handle additional capacity.
So what's the process like? You like, hey, I'm building this, you know, because this is now, let's talk startups. Now, since y'all startup, let's talk. I'm always, and this would be a good advice segment. I like to give people information like that. So with your pitch deck, you got all your pieces ready, and then you're contacting like a developer department for these companies, and then like, what's happening here? Yeah,
exactly. So we have a development team. We have a couple developers. They're in India. My co-founder is from India. I mean, he's American, ethnic Indian. I've known him from Mumbai because I lived in Mumbai for 2 years. A really good guy. So we have those connections. And the developers organize this. They, connect with the social media platforms and say, this is our app. This is what we'd like to do. Here's our application. This is our company. The platforms through the developer portals usually look at the app, see what you're doing. They scrutinize it. They'll look at your company as well. With Facebook, for example, we had to submit our corporate papers, to prove that we're legitimate. And with that, if they grant you access, then yeah, that's fantastic for us because we need that. One thing, like you'll see out there, you'll see some companies that are trying to build like the Instagram of crypto, right?
Yes.
They're building a new Instagram, but instead of giving hearts, I mean, we still give hearts, but we give our token. And that's a good model. Like that's a better Instagram for sure. But they have a big challenge. And those companies, you know, whether it's the YouTube of crypto, the Instagram of crypto, the Twitter, their big challenge is they have to onboard new users off these existing platforms to their platform.
Yes.
And you got to get a critical mass of users to have success, right? And that's difficult because you got your friends on Facebook, you got your history, all your photos, you know, on Twitter. Like it's hard to leave that platform to move to a new platform. So I think one advantage that we have is we're not trying to create a new platform. We're just plugging into existing social media platforms. So you don't have to change anything that you're doing. If you want, you can just use our app to, you know, mine those platforms to generate to tokenize those platforms for yourself and on the Algorand blockchain, and then move those around. But in order to do that, we have to have, you know, an agreement. I'm not going to call it a partnership. You know, these cryptocurrency companies, there's a lot of hype, and they say, oh, we partnered with, you know, X, Y, and Z. It's not that at all.
Some type of access sometimes.
Yeah, it's not a partnership. Like, you know, we're not in corporate headquarters with, you know, Twitter or Facebook. You know, maybe at some point, but right, it's access, and that access is difficult to get, and it's a long process. And so right now, it's pretty exciting because now we'll have Facebook. We also have Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, although we're having some connection problems with some users on YouTube that we need to fix. And then TikTok. And we're working on some, you know, some other platforms as well. But yeah, that's a pretty good start. We want to, you know, plug into all these creator platforms.
It definitely helps legitimize what y'all doing for sure. Like,
yeah, did I miss anything with that, Blake?
No, you hit it right on hit the nail on the head. The only thing I was going to kind of bring up, talk a little bit about was, you know, sometimes there's some concern in the community that the information that we're gathering, although we don't have the ability to necessarily decide what information that we're gaining from them, yes, more or less, all we're trying to scrape from these APIs is just the fact that you've got these likes. So that's what our cryptocurrency is based on, is tokenizing simply the likes. So Doug could probably go into some more specific details as to what the Reddit, we had a post on Reddit that we felt terrible about, because we want the community to trust in what we're doing and you know, understand who we are and what the project is about. And so it was frustrating to see, I don't want to say a disgruntled user, but somebody that didn't understand the use case, that didn't understand the application. Doug, you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I want to jump in because I have on here data tracking, right? Because this is something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
What you're all doing.
Let's address it.
That's something that comes to my mind. And we already know the other apps are taking data. We know what Facebook does. They're selling everything on the back end. So yes, that is a great question. Shout out to whoever you know wrote that on Reddit. But same question I have. So break it down.
Yeah, that's not our business model. You know, that's how Facebook and Google, you know, Google particularly can make money, right? Through data acquisition. And that's what they're doing. They're acquiring all this data and they're reselling it. And we're not doing that at all. That's not our business. Ours is micropayments to creators. And so we can't compete. We're not going to compete with that. We don't want the only data we want is your engagement data, which right now is just your likes. Now, at some point, you know, we can make the algorithm more sophisticated to include like retweets. That would be cool, you know. But right now it's very basic. We're in a beta version. So the only data we want is that. Anything beyond that is actually, you know, bycatch that's expensive and can crash our servers. We doubled our users this weekend, which was awesome. That was fantastic. We weren't expecting that. That crashed our server on Sunday. And the developers in India, it's the middle of the night, and they're working on the dispersion at 1 a.m. in India, in Mumbai, because we were collecting more data than we wanted. And we're looking for solutions around that, because, you know, storing that data is expensive and we don't even want it. It's all, you know, you gotta pay unnecessary space. Yeah, and it's a bunch of it's just costly, right? And the problem is you can't. Each API is different. What we want is to connect to each API and just get the like count. But that's not how some of them work. Reddit, the way they work, they have this default API, and it's, you get what you get, and the user decides whether or not they want to let, the platform, any platform that connects to their account, and it's all the same. And they have a bunch of alarming and alerting language on there, which is good. I think they should, notify, but it's all kind of extreme use case. For example, on that Reddit, it says that, you're giving this app access indefinitely. That's not the case at all. The Reddit app all the APIs drop after a certain period of time, usually within 24 hours. And that's why you need to go in and click the button in mine, because you need to like reconnect to excavate the likes, right? So we're working to create filters on our side where we're only pulling the like count, because that would be a lot easier from a data management perspective. It's cheaper. These servers are expensive. Storing the data is expensive. Yeah, so we want to keep it real as simple as possible.
What about like security and audits? Because that's another thing we always have. I know, are you guys using smart contracts too, basically also as well, to add on to my audit security question?
Yeah, smart contracts, no, not yet. I mean, we're using the Algorand blockchain for the transactions and the interface. Our app is the interface between the social media site, the creator site, and your wallet. Mm-hmm. But we don't need to have any smart contracts at this point. As it gets more sophisticated, possibly, most likely for one of these features we want to build. But right now, no, there's no smart contract.
Okay.
So the other one, see, you asked about an audit. We just performed our own audit, internal audit, last week. We're waiting for the results. It should be probably tomorrow, Doug.
No, it's going to take a little longer, but we're doing a security audit, and it's not just internal. Well, we've done our own internal audit, of course, but we've also hired an external company that's going to start and do a code audit and a security audit as well. And those results should take a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long, hopefully within a month or something. Yeah,
because we in crypto, and I know audits are expensive, but you need them, and they're something good to put on the website. But in case curious people are asking questions, especially we got a lot of curious people in Algorand with followings that will go in and dive in and try to, figure out any weaknesses in some of these codes and things of that. Yeah. So always got to be safe.
Yeah, we have Black Block is going to do our security audit for us. They're out of Texas, the external audit.
Okay, nice. Yeah, go research that, y'all. Check it out. I always research. I got a whole list of different audit companies I check in with. Okay, let's talk about any more announcements or updates with Vybe Crypto. Otherwise, we're gonna slowly close out. And like I said, I want to do a little bit more advice, and then we'll tell them where to find you.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's see, more announcements. So we're upgrading our servers this week. That'll probably take another week. We've been up and running for a month. The next thing that we need to do is smooth out the app. There's some glitches in it that we have to fix. We got to get the stats working a little bit better. We want to make the leaderboard sortable, like a lot of little things, right? We have a security audit. And then once we can get all those things coded, built, tested, and refined, the app's going to get better and better. Then we can move on to building, some use case further and some of the other features that we have planned. So that's kind of our near-term strategy.
Okay, nice. Anything for you to add, Blake? Oh, Tim.
Doug pretty much summed it all up. I'm excited for a turnkey Facebook operation about a week from now. I'm looking forward to that. And then, also looking forward to some new marketing opportunities, trying to find new audience to target. And looking forward to the next Algorand family opportunity we can get out in front of.
Oh yeah, well Blake's going to we're going to get Blake to Dubai too.
A word? Oh yeah, I'm working on it too. Hopefully I'll be there. We're working on it.
Decipher.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big goal of mine. We're running a fundraiser with the Next Block crew to report live from out there. So
cool.
Oh, very cool.
Blake will be there, so connect with them, and say hi.
Yes. We'll go get some food and stuff like that too.
Yeah, we love
to see Will.
Connect to the community.
Okay, so we got a few minutes remaining. I want to do two things. Let's get some advice, because I like what y'all got going on here, and y'all have teamwork and unity. So let's talk to people out here that are trying to develop their own startups about working with another person. From you guys are collaborating, and you got other collaborators. Can you talk about teamwork?
Yeah, well, the team makes all the difference in the world, right? I mean, especially with the startup, we're working all the time. Like I said, the developers on Sunday, Sunday night at 1 a.m. are working in India to, on our code. So you have to have that connectivity with people, and trust in all your teammates. I mean, I think that makes the biggest difference in the world. And we do have a pretty strong team, and I think, and a motivated team, energized team. We're all, excited. I think people about the idea. I think it's important to have your team invested also in the project. I mean, believing in the project, their partners in the project. That helps quite a bit as well. Yeah.
Blake?
Well, the only thing I was going to say there is, so about the teamwork, we've got a really neat team and a lot of people covering a lot of different bases here. All of us also have full-time real jobs. And so this is all extracurricular or overtime hours that we're putting into this. And like Doug mentioned earlier in the interview, we haven't made a penny on this project yet. We are devoted and committed. We've been working on this for over 1.5 years. And it's been fun. It's been exciting. There's been a lot of highs. There's been a lot of lows. And we're going to continue to grind to make sure that we see this thing all the way through.
Excellent. Hey, I love it. So big shout out to y'all. Keep pushing. I'm here anytime y'all want to chop it up. So can you tell them folks where to find you again? Vybe Crypto website, any social media?
Sure.
Yes,
Vybe. Go ahead.
Go for it, Blake. Go, man.
Vybe, VYBE, www.vybecrypto.com, vybecrypto.com. Make sure you got your Pera Algo wallet. Make sure you got an algo or two in there. Go ahead and get that Vybe verified asset. Get online, sync your social media, start mining.
Excellent. Anything else to add, Choppy, before I do my outro?
Yeah, no, man. Thanks for having us on. Love your show. Love your content. Love what you're doing. Reaching out to the community, teaching people other ways they can earn money and, leverage the power of cryptocurrency. We find it fascinating. I've been fascinated by it since the first moment I really read about it in 2014. And so, thanks for giving us the opportunity to reach out to the community, connect with the community, and people can learn more about us too, which is good. Like, some people are curious about our project, right? Like, okay, who are these guys? What are they doing? I think our idea is pretty simple enough that people get that pretty early, but the next thing people want to know is like, okay, do these guys, have the ability to really take this long term? And we do, and we want to. Like, as Blake said, like, we're invested in this. Like, we're not, this isn't like, we'll see where we are in a month. Like, we have like a multi-year plan, right? Like,
20-year distribution.
Yeah, I mean, our distribution is 20 years, right? So, thanks for giving us the ability to connect with your community.
Oh, most definitely. Well,
thank you very much.
Yes, most definitely. Thank y'all for hopping on. So make sure that y'all tap in, y'all. Vybecrypto.com, links in the description. Be sure to run this video up, watch it. If you got any comments and questions, make sure to leave them or tap in with Vybe or myself on Twitter. They're active, I'm active. And again, the YouTube is first, and then we'll have the audio experience on Spotify, Apple, and things of that nature. And otherwise, y'all, thanks for tapping in. We go. Algorand.
See the crypto, a digital face, 2021 fiat replaced. Had to have it, bank account by Algorand, large amounts. Digital left the physical space, the community had to be great. A digital wallet, large amounts. It's about fame, big bank account.